Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching this. This is a trade review for the third week, basically, right? Yeah, for the third week of April 2018. I was meant to put out a trade review last week, and I couldn't just get around doing it because I had a lot of things I needed to get in place even this week. So I'm just basically squeezing out time to try and get this out here. Hope you're all having a good trading week and you're doing well. Personally, before I go ahead, I feel all foreign currencies are still long-term bullish, in my opinion. As long as my opinion, as long as Euro USD stays above this line, which is basically, let's just call it 1.215. I feel as long as we stay above 1.2150, we will see higher prices. But let me just go straight into the trade I took this week. I took two trades in Euro USD, took one trade in GBPUSD, took one trade on NZDUSD, took one trade on Euro GBP, had loss in Euro GBP, so that was a minus R, but the other four trades went into profit. So I'll just start with Euro USD. Now looking into Euro USD, the first thing that caught my attention was actually from the 4-hour chart. Now we went into a new week and this was the highs of last week, right? This high right here was the high of last week. So I marked that as a high of last week. And what I wanted to see from price was I wanted to see price run above this highs and then run into this 4-hour order block right here. So we'll mark out this 4-hour order block, right? So I wanted to see price run this highs, take it into the 4-hour bearish order block, and then short for targets here and then here. Now, first of all, the reason why I was using this area, this was my first trouble area. The reason why I was using this as my first trouble area is basically I was expecting a form of resistance at this point in price. Reason why is because there was a clean order block right here. This was a daily, this was an hour, this was a 30 minutes, this was a 4 hour. So this was a strong order block, and this is a price contraction. So I was expecting price either react off of this or basically take out this order block used as a breaker, then take out this lows, dipping into the daily order block and 4-hour breaker that we have right here. Now, before I took my entry on this, I went down to the hourly. Now, and if you go down to the hourly and zoom out a bit, you will notice right here we have double top. So I was looking at this as liquidity pool. What I wanted to see was the price to run this, right? Then that's when I would go short on my trade. So when price took out this level, when price took out this double tops right here under this level, I went short, and that's how I caught the highs of Tuesday. So I went short on Tuesday. I'm not really going to go too much into details on that. So I went short on Tuesday here. Trimmed out my positions as price was moving lower, and then I went short again. I tried going short again at this hourly breakup, but then price missed me by, I think, about less than a pip. I had my limit somewhere around here. Then prices came up to that level, didn't tag me in, then kept on pushing lower. I was shaving off positions as price was pushing lower, so I think this must be it right here. Alright, cool. So this was a stop run. This was a run above the previous week's high, and as you can see, I was going short. You see how where I marked out the first trouble area. This is where we have the 4-hour block, and as soon as price bounced off of this, I wanted to see this other one take out this low. As soon as this started pushing back up, I took our position, then I finally collapsed my last position out here. Then the next trade I tried taking on Euro USD was on Wednesday, which is basically yesterday. Now, yesterday I had this level. So on the 30-minute, I refined my breaker again. On the 30-minute, we had this. Now, I could have taken this trade and could have been up a lot for Wednesday. But the reason why I did not take this trade is because I did not trade the Asian session. My trading only starts once the market properly opens. So I waited for this to pan out. Then I was predicting this to be the high of the day. So I got in on the hourly breaker again. This is where I got in the next day. Right here. So I got in here, and then we had the fundamentals for what is it called, for Euro USD. So when price tagged this level, it quickly dropped back down. Now I closed almost about 90% of my position on this. So this was the trade. When price came back to this level here on this white candle right here, this is when I took the short, and then went down, taking out the intermediate low. But I wanted to see this low quickly get run. But as soon as that did not happen, I looked at this as a run to an order block, and then I collapsed about 90% of my position. The remaining 10% took me at a break even. Here it is. As you can see, this is no photoshopping or fake. Shows you where I went short from and everything. So that was it for EURUSD. I was done with EURUSD. Now I'm going to GBPUSD. Oh, I love this trade so much. What I was looking for the week was basically a run above this high. Now, on a run above this high on Tuesday was my indication for price wanting to move lower. So as soon as price run above this highs on Tuesday, what I wanted to see was for price to show me bearish price action on the lower time frame, and I went short somewhere around this level. So I literally caught this, but I didn't catch the rest of this move. When I took this trade, I collapsed it for I think 12 hours. So I must have gotten out. I didn't even waste time. I didn't even take out the daily lows. I got out somewhere about here. I had about a 3 pips stop loss, and I got out for 36 pips. And that was just it. Like if I had held this whole move for the rest of the week, that would have given me about maybe 76 R, but no, I didn't hold that. More times, I just look to get in and out, not depending on time, but it's basically just how I feel about price and what I expect from price. So I got in, and then this happened, and then I got out of the trade. I went short from here when price took out the previous. No, that's not the previous weeks. Basically, the yearly highs. When price took out the yearly highs, that's when I went short on my trade, and yeah, this was it. I went short here on this candle. As soon as this was the candle I was eyeing, as soon as we got a close below it, which is right here, this is very frustrating. I hate when it does this every time. Yeah, as soon as we got a close below this candle, the pushback up to this, that's when I got in, had my stops up on the body of this candle. It was about a 3 pip stop, and I fully collapsed my trade. It must have been here or here. And that was it for GBPUSD. In the other trades, I was just calling it out with the guy I'm working with, and that was just it. I didn't actively trade it. So that was it for GBPUSD. Missed this whole chunk of move here, but by Tuesday, I was slightly done with my trading. I didn't actually want to open more positions. But Wednesday, I took a chicken trade on EURUSD, which is what I just explained. Then NZDUSD, I was eyeing this at the start of the week. So basically, what I had on my list was NZDUSD, EURUSD, GBPUSD. I was eyeing this daily order block at the start of the week. But what more I really wanted was for price to give me a reaction off of this. As I always say, the body of the block is slightly more important to me than the wick of the block. So I feel that's where most action happens. So it's not all the time, but you would know when to use it. So looking at this, price was slowly declining. What I wanted to see was for price to give me a bullish price action in the lower time frame. So as soon as we tag that level, if you go down to the lower time frame, 5 minutes, simply just a fractal pattern that I like using. So when price went down to the 5 minutes on my Instagram, you would see the before and after shot of this and me actively in the trade. So when price went down to the lower time frame, came here, hit the higher time frame level. What I wanted to see was a pushback above this. Now you would have taken this in 2 ways, 3 ways if you wanted to. Now the first thing you would have done was when price pushed back above this level, this is basically an indication of price telling me that it's going back into the range, the bulls are stepping into the market, there's sponsorship behind your trade, the big money's behind your move. So when price pushed back above this, could have taken this here. We could have taken this here, right, with a three stop loss, however I wanted to take it. We could have taken this trade here. This was the first entry, push above the breaker, a retest of the breaker, got in here again, second entry, and then this was your final entry right here. So breaking market structure, return back to this order block, and then what I was going for basically were buy stops resting. Well, buy stops resting right there. So this was basically just my target for the trade. I didn't get this first position on here. I only took this one. Breaking market structure, return back to it. I compounded here, and then price pushed higher. QE was quite slow, so all this thing that looks quite big was just a 30 pip move. But that was basically my trade review on the trades I took this week. I tried going short on Euro GBP after we had this retail CPI for GBP. Yeah, it didn't go so well. I took a -1 hour loss, but all around it was a good week. Doesn't matter how many hours I did, but it was just a very good week. Um, I was I was done with my week. I was way above my weekly goal by Tuesday, and by Wednesday I took another extra one, and that's me done. Today I'm not taking any trades. Tomorrow I'm not taking any trades. Um, I've just got a couple of things I need to sort out in real life, so I'm more focused on that for now. So I'm happy I'm done with the markets. But I hope you all have a good week, and it's something you picked out from the trade review. If you ever need to get in touch with me, get to me on Instagram at Yaske on charts, YASUKEONCHARTS. Have a good week, people. All right.